So we have something really exciting here. We have the new Miguron Velona 2 and the new Miguron Velona premium version that's a bit smaller. So we have a 3.5 inch blade with premium materials. We're going to check this one out in a second. This one is the affordable version now with some upgrades. So the original one was around 50 something dollars. Same thing with this one. So the price hasn't changed or anything like that. Same drop point, beautiful drop point blade in 14C28N, but now we have a finger choil, or you can think of it as a sharpening choil. Before, the edge hit the plunge grind, and it did make it difficult to sharpen, and when you did sharpen it, it made it wonky down back there. So I'm really happy that they did that. This is a very large knife. It's like a 9-inch knife, however, it doesn't wield like a 9-inch knife. It wields like a 3.5-inch blade, which is crazy, but that's also why this is a knife people love so much, because it's a large knife that doesn't feel obnoxious. It doesn't seem obnoxious, and you can use it so comfortably, so good, you know, in every situation. Then coupled with the action, this thing is a fidgeter's dream. They have this fuller that runs pretty much the full length of the blade, and it makes it to where wherever your preference is for where you want to flick, or whatever finger you want to use, because you can use any finger, you can place your finger anywhere in the fuller and it will work. Same thing with the thumb flick. Flipper tab works great. Very smooth on the drop, so it's super fidgety. And the titanium milled pocket clip is reversible. So this is a knife that's very easy to use left-handed. Great access to the lock bar. Again, very smooth on the ceramic caged bearings. T8 hardware all the way around. Yep, they knocked it out of the park, and it was already a knife design that I've been recommending since it first came out. It is definitely one of the better knives you can get for around 50 bucks. Hands down, this is one of the better ones you can get. And now I'm obviously going to recommend it even more. You know, now it's got the things I asked to be changed. So I'm very, very happy with this. This is awesome. Now the premium version, 3.5-inch blade. It is, you can see it is much smaller, but it's still a full-size knife. This is absolutely a full-size knife, but it is definitely a lot smaller because this is so big. So we have titanium liners with a steel lock bar insert. You can see the blasted finish on the titanium liners. Lots of milling in the inside. This thing is extremely, extremely lightweight. I can't stress that enough. When I first got it in my hand, I was like, oh, this has to be titanium because it's so damn light. Titanium mill pocket clip, T8 hardware all the way around. Reversible pocket clip, again, because this thing works so good for lefties. So lefties, this is a great one for you. Your action's going to be just the same, you know, right or left-handed. M390 blade. Blasted finish, drop point blade. The choil is more of a sharpening choil than a finger choil, but you could definitely use it like a finger choil. This one's definitely a finger choil. So that's one little tiny difference. You can see this one's just a bit smaller. Not a big deal. Good access to the lock bar. Very smooth on the drop. Fantastic detent. Such a snappy detent. And then the fuller, again, the fuller action is so good. It's so fidgety. It's so much fun. So yeah, they still held on to all the great qualities of the affordable version and put it into a smaller, compact, premium version, which is going to be the size of a knife that majority of people will prefer. And, you know, like I said, you can get a full grip on it. This is a full-size knife. But it's crazy how this one almost feels smaller just because I'm used to this one. I mean, it is smaller, but I mean smaller than a 3.5. And this one feels like a 3.5. It's weird how this knife does that. Also, I like how they crowned everything. Like, even the blade is crowned, even on the big one. They're both crowned really nicely. You got to appreciate that. You can see the fuller comes out here and makes a nice little swedge, making the tip nice and robust, yet nice and pokey at the same time. The liners are crowned, they're really soft. You know, the disengagement's really nice. So, you know, that's a nice little touch, you know, for the shadow boxed carbon fiber titanium liner lock knife, is that the titanium liners are, you know, almost smoothed out. You know, they feel really comfortable and they feel really good. I'm pretty much, they did the same thing on the big one. It's just steel liners. So, you know, it's a nice little touch. Let's talk about some negatives, because I do have some little nitpicks. They're not bad, but first off, before I say the nitpicks, I do want to say these are damn good looking knives. These are very attractive looking knives. These are knives that just have that really good, useful look to it that people can appreciate, because it's a knife. And while it holds the bells and whistles we want in a modern knife, it still holds the traditionalness of being useful. It's a great tool. It's a drop point blade with a very ergonomic handle that's extremely useful. So the nitpicks. One nitpick is the blasted finish. I do not like this blasted finish. I wish it was satin or stone washed. The blasted finish, I know they're trying to keep costs down, because this is around 50 bucks. This is like 180. I'm not mad at the price. I think the price is great. So I know they're trying to keep the costs down to keep it that price. So, you know, blasted finish, while I'm not really worried about rust, some people are. And that's one reason why a lot of people don't like blasted finishes, because it's the most susceptible to corrosion. Now, this is M390, so it's very, very corrosion resistant, but still a satin finish is just more attractive all the way around. A stone wash is more attractive, and people appreciate it more because, you know, we see the blasted finishes on so many affordable knives. You prefer not to see it on a premium knife. So not that companies aren't doing it, because a lot of them are, and some people won't even care about that. The next negative thing is the HRC on the M390. Now, man, that detent is so good. I'm not mad at the 14C. The 14C, I think they're doing an incredible job with. They're doing a great job with the 14C. But 14C is very easy for mass production companies to use. That's the beauty of it. M390 is not. So M390, I don't think they're doing a bad job with their heat treatment. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job on their heat treatment. I'm saying they're running it soft. So I would love to see them up it to 61 to 62. We really want to see a 62 plus, but 61 to 62 is where we're the happiest. That's where we're happy. We expect, you know, for a production company, you know, it's difficult to expect, you know, 62.5 or even, you know, 63 from a production company. But getting 61, 62, I don't think it's too much to ask for, because then you're getting the premium qualities out of the steel that's what you're paying for, right? When we think of M390, we think of its crazy edge retention. Well, its crazy edge retention comes out, you know, over 61 HRC. So that's why we want to see it there. Otherwise, you know, you can just use a different steel. You don't need to use M390 because you're not going to get those crazy good qualities. Now, is it going to be a bad steel? No, it's not going to be bad. It'll still sharpen up really good, and it'll still hold an edge for a very long time, but just not as long as it possibly could at a higher HRC. It's something I'm going to continue to talk to Miguron about. Hopefully we can get them to raise that up just a little bit, you know, just bump it up a point or two. Anyways, the knife overall, you guys already know. You guys already know. I love it. I definitely recommend it. It's something that is so easy to use. It's an easy grab, easy pick, very comfortable, good action, good everything. So yeah. Yeah, they knocked it out of the park. And you know what? And another thing with Miguron, they're working hard, and they really are trying. And I appreciate that about a company. Like, the fact that I nitpicked about a couple things on this knife, and next year they fixed all the little nitpicks, and I even brought up they should do this, and they did. That's important from these knife companies for us to get, because if they're not listening to the community, then who are they making knives for? And Miguron, they really truly seem like they're making knives for the community, and I love that. So, you know, shout out to Miguron for, you know, for listening and for taking the things that the community says to heart and seriously. Anyways, work hard, stay tough. Society's relying on you. Until next time, peace.